Hey everybody, it's me, Angel Benton, and today I'm just going to get right into it. Today we're doing another Sudsy recap, and today's all about Below Deck. I love this show. Um, Funny thing about Below Deck, I just read on Twitter that Hannah and Kate are actually friendly. Oh my God, is that a gray hair? No, it's a feather. Whew, I was scared there for a second. Anyways. Whatever. Anyways, so yeah, that's cool because I love them both. I love them both immensely, and they're both great at their jobs. So that's really good. Um, so the thing about Below Deck is that this week Nico really, I hate to say it, but he kind of showed his ass a little bit, and not in a good way. Although I wouldn't mind seeing it. Actually, I wouldn't mind seeing Kelly's too. I mean, the front is real nice, but I wouldn't mind seeing that back too. Just saying. Anyways, yeah, Nico was, he's all about Emily, trying to come on to Emily, and then he tried to kiss Sierra, and all the while Lauren is pining for him. It's like, oh, this is not going to end well. Anytime you ever know someone has feelings for someone, it's like, oh, this will not end well, right? But it does make for good television. And Lauren got over it, and she ended up being friends with them. But there was some time where she's like, I need to be by myself right now. Please don't talk to me. And I get that. Trust me, girlfriend, Lauren. Let me tell you something. I have been there more times than I care to tell you all, but I have been there. So I get it. I get it. It's fine. So we also, and the charter guests from last week, they were still on at the beginning of this week's episode, and they actually waxed the guy's chest into a V, one of the guys, and then another guy, they waxed his back. It was so gross. But, and this is where I fucking love Kate Chastain. She is hilarious. She actually took the guy with the back hair and she um, laminated and framed the wax strips with his back hair. It was hilarious. Now the deckhands actually, not the stewardesses did not have to do the waxing. Thank goodness, because the girls that were on the charter, they got to do that honor. But I mean, everyone from the stewardesses to the deckhands were watching like, are you kidding me? I mean, like they're like, wow, wow, wow. But it was pretty funny. So those guests came, then they left, and they left a nice tip, right? That they only had to split a certain amount of ways because Trevor was gone. And then after that, they all went out and partied, and that's when they had that issue with Nico and Sierra and Emily and Lauren and all that all happened, right? But really, as dramatic as that was, that really wasn't that dramatic. So, I mean, not in a bad way. That's a good thing because, not every time you go out does it have to be crazy dramatic every single fucking time, right? I'm sure when Trevor was there, they were probably thinking that, oh my God, this makes us look bad. I mean, Nico actually said that. This is what makes us look bad. This is why people hate us. And when he says us, I don't know if he means yachties or if he means Americans or, people of a certain age. I mean, I don't know what he meant by that, but I mean, I get it. I get that he would be embarrassed by it because Trevor was just completely acting a plain fool. Captain Lee was great, kept a pretty low profile this week, right? Except, okay, so we got a new deckhand, right? So this is, I don't know, gassy today, excuse me. So, okay, so we got a new deckhand this week. His name's Kyle. And he isn't normally someone that I would think would be my type, right? He's got a hairy face, like very hairy. He's got a full beard and mustache, and he's very pale, which that's fine. Skinny, which that's fine too. But when he talks that accent, I mean, I mean, I'm in. I'm in. He can get it. He can get it sideways, front ways, back ways, whatever ways he wants, he can have it. It is great. And the best part, so he's got a very thick accent, right? And in fact, when he first started speaking, they actually subtitled him. Now, I don't know if that was just shade on the editor's part, or if that was actually the need for subtitles, because I feel like, you know, the Cheshire Girls, they had their accents are just as thick, and no, they didn't get subtitled. So I don't know. I just feel like, why are they subtitled? That doesn't. I mean, that was kind of a little bit mean, but maybe I'm reading way too much into it, and that is entirely a possibility. Okay, but anyways, so the thing about him that makes him even more hot, not just the accent, even if he kept his mouth shut and never said anything, the thing that makes him so hot, to me at least, is he has got a crazy work ethic. Like, he works hard. And take me. Take me, I'm yours. I love a man that is actually willing to fucking work. That is worth everything. I don't care how much money he makes. Well, I don't care. Because obviously, if he's willing to work, then he'll be willing to come up from nothing. And I just love him. I love him. I'm so crazy about him. Now, at the end of today's episode, he kind of it looked like he dislocated his shoulder. I couldn't really tell. The way the camera was angled, I really couldn't tell what was going on, if he had dislocated his shoulder or if he had broken his arm or whatever. I couldn't really tell, but that's how they ended the show. Now watch. I would not be surprised if next week that bitch ends up popping that shit right back and then going like a badass, because he just strikes me as being that type. Of course, he could also end up going to the hospital, which I still wouldn't fault him for, because obviously he did it working. It's not like he did it, goofing off or anything. So, I mean, he used to work on a fishing trawler, and then he got into yachting from there. So he's used to hard work, and there's a lot less chance of him dying on a yacht. So, but then again, you never know. I mean, he just pulled out his shoulder at the end of this episode. So, I mean, I guess it's a lot more dangerous than it looks like, right? That's why I could never be a deckhand. I'll tell you that right now. There's no way. There's no way I could be that. I mean, he's skinny, but he's way stronger than me. Like, for real. There's no way. I would totally die. I would die. I would die. Now, I could be a male stew, but I could not be a deckhand. That would be too much for me. That would just, yeah, that would push me over the edge. No, it wouldn't push me over the edge. I would feel, it would actually be really nerve-wracking for me, because I would actually feel very self-conscious about my job, because I don't think that I'm good enough to be around all these other people, because everyone on that boat is very seasoned, except for Sierra. So, but she's not doing that bad, actually. This season, this episode, it was actually great. Last week there was that dust up with Ben, and this week they talked a little bit. It was so funny because Ben made this big deal to Kate. I really need to talk to Sierra. I don't want her to get mad. Last night was a 12-course tasting menu, and I was a little out of control, crazy. And he shows up to Sierra and he's like, yeah, man, last night, that was bad. We don't need to talk about it, do we? Okay, great. I mean, really? Okay, there's that big apology. But to Sierra's credit, she was like, okay, whatever. I'm glad he said something, and then we were able to acknowledge it and move on. So kudos to both of you. Good job on that. I mean, that is how you act like a grown-up. As opposed to saying, why aren't they, apologizing to me? Really? Sorry. And don't get me started on previous seasons, because I could go off on previous seasons too, because I didn't have this show back then. But I've been watching for a long time. I've been watching Bravo for a long time. I've watched every single housewife. I've watched the Orange County Housewives from day one. Watched Below Deck. I've watched Vanderpump Rules. There's very rarely is there a show on Bravo I do not watch. It does happen occasionally. There is a program I don't care for, and I won't watch it. And there are some that I've never really gotten into. So it's fine. It is what it is. It's nothing. You know what? Speaking of, so I always said that, like, Vanderpump Rules and Below Deck are kind of like the same show, except it's as if you gave the Vanderpump Rules kids work ethics, and then they would be, work Below Deck. But Après Ski was actually another one that was very similar to Below Deck, except they were all on a mountain instead of on a boat. I hope that comes back. I don't know if it will or not, because, they're Canadian, and it wasn't that dramatic. The most drama they had was with the American girls. But I don't know. It just seemed a little bit. I liked it. I enjoyed the show immensely. I thought it was great. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Tweet me at Angel Benton, hashtag Below Deck, if you want to chat about Below Deck. Tomorrow, I'm going to be talking Days of Our Lives. So feel free to tune in then and have a great night. Peace out.